recording now, and we're going to come back about 2 feet at a time and stop at each and every joint. So again, assuming this is in the street, which we should be for at least 10 feet or so, none of this is really your responsibility, but it is your problem if it backs up. So something that I normally recommend people just shoot an email to the city and send them this video, and then they'll assess and they'll come out with a jetter if needed to clean out what they can clean out. Those are ruts.
Huh?
We got ruts.
I know. I know it's pretty early and it looked pretty troughed out.
In the cast iron? Yeah, I didn't look at anything yet.
Oh, are you just focused on pushing?
Yeah, it's a pig to push at this angle in a tight space like that.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a joint with roots in it. This is more or less what they typically will look like when they have roots. This is only 5 feet before where we just were.
Okay.
So again, likely in the street, likely not your problem. What we'll do is when I see a change in pipe type, I'll go out there and I'll locate to make sure we're on the curb or these two. Now when you see roots again,
comes my problem.
Their roots are super frustrating because again they highlight where things are broken, but they also exacerbate the issue greatly. But so, all right, back to the recording here. Camera. There's another section there with some roots. More roots. And now we're kind of at the point that I do want to go locate where this is at. Because we are about 11 feet from where we were at the main. So we're getting close. So we did go ahead and locate this. We're approximately 6 feet deep in the street. We are 3 feet away from the curb at this point. So we'll go ahead and pull back until we hit that transition into a different material, so that we have a better grasp of exactly where that curve is at and customer responsibility starts, which is right here at this new material. So we are still on a concrete line. More than likely we'll see that concrete line throughout the remainder of the lateral until we get to this customer-owned property, which looks to have had some work done to it according to permits in 1993. However, permits were not actually finalized. So another significant root intrusion here.
Parking strip area.
Yeah, this is in that beauty strip. So I pulled back about 5 feet, and then I started carrying what was there. So definitely something that'll need to be addressed. We'll get to that part in a minute here. And there is a transition from that cast iron pipe into newer plastic material, whether that be ABS or HDPE. Again, permits were pulled for this project but never actually finalized nor completed. Super frustrating when they pull permits but don't ever have them finalized like that, because it means you have unpermitted work, but it's not your fault because it was done in 1993.
Well, we had some of that. We went 1098. We had a couple of those. That one I'm surprised didn't come up.
Yeah, no,
all over the permits.
Exactly. It's a weird one. You have to go back into the historic stuff. It's a weird one.
Yeah, we had a gas hot water right inside this workshop.
Oh,
that was piped through the chimney.
Yeah, that's perfect venting. What are you talking about?
This isn't right.
Where are you guys moving to when you move?
Well, we're getting divorced, so
okay.
I don't know where I'm going. Right where he left.
Gotcha.
My youngest son's a senior in high school, so I'm going to stay here until he's done with high school.
That makes sense.
It's like, this is not the, let's remodel the bathroom, drop money on that. No, this is just useless money to live right down there. So you couldn't snaked it myself a couple times, and it's like, and I've been doing it for 20 years. Because every once in a while, it lasted 4 months.
So far we're looking really good. All this new material, I'm not seeing any pooling or anything like that, so this is all in great shape.
Literally like 5 feet under the sidewalk, or under the parking strip. roots and the old material.
Correct, yes.
And we'll see once we start getting into slab what that's looking like as well.
So this section right here, this is a belly. This is something that will come up as needing to be replaced.
Okay.
So normally what I do in scenarios like this, where we have something that's 40 feet away and something at the end, just drill a new line. Just get a brand new line done. Don't, 2 spot repairs is never going to pay itself off, especially based on where this is at. And you have that big retaining wall. It's just normally cheaper. You just drill a new line.
You do that like from the street? Like you go under and just drill the whole thing underground? Basically?
Yeah. So basically we close the street down, we drill underneath everything, pull a new line through just like we would do if this wasn't bellied. And this was an older material that was about to fail. New materials we don't burst through because they'll get stuck and it's hugely frustrating. But I mean, it is a small section, right? It's not something that's huge, but it is definitely a problem. Is it contributing directly to your backup over there? No. Are the roots contributing to that backup? Probably, just because they're slowing down the velocity of everything in the line by not allowing the same amount of air to come back. So here's a transition into a cast iron line, and we are still 40 feet from the center of the camera.
Middle of my yard?
Maybe. 40 feet's a lot shorter than we think it is, especially because I've got like 7 to 8 feet just in this pipe before we even hit the ground. So it's probably like 10 feet outside that wall. So everything we're going to be looking at is realistically internal-ish. And with cast iron, again, the troughing on the bottom is kind of the main concern, as well as the blistering and rusting on the sides. You can see the top of the pipe, how much more smooth it is than the bottom. That's kind of our determining factor of when it makes sense to replace, take care of, etc. Price-wise, by the way, drilling and bursting a new line is pretty comparable to what they were talking about for chipping up over there. Pretty close in cost. But arguably a better value in addition to doing something over there, to even if it's just a section, just to keep it functional and to move. Because again, you just mark the cost of the home up $20,000 and you're fine. We have a 20-year transferable warranty. Goes with the home. People don't have to think about it for 20 years.
And again, it's something that they'll inspect. It will come up. It's so better to know it, fix it, and say, this has been taken care of.
And then we coat the inside of the cast iron. So what we do is whip a chain around the inside, and it descales a lot of it to make it look better. It extends life of it a little bit. So we do that typically for free on the larger jobs because it's not really a lot of added extra time because they're waiting on other stuff anyway. But it is a huge added benefit for something like this where otherwise reasonably serviceable shape, just, some rusting and obvious signs of age, like those blisters on the sides right there. Those kinds of things, right? So it's going to help eliminate those, and it's something that you don't have to pay extra for. All right, now we're taking that 90 back up. And then home free. There we are in that beautiful new pipe. Let's see if I can actually get a better view to show you just how much smaller that cast iron is. Kind of. You can kind of sort of see the lip. It's not hugely dramatic, but it is probably about an 1/8 to a 1/16 of an inch. That's how much smaller the pipe is just from corrosion. I always like to show that transition when I'm able to, because once you get in the cast iron pipe, it's hard to see it. All right.